All right, folks, so here it is. We're doing something a little different and bringing in a new segment, and that new segment is the news,
The news, baby. Yeah, we're
just talking more current events. All of our stories are from like the 1900s. Lame.
Yeah, most of our other stories are, but I guess, we think about history in general, and it's getting lame, bro. It's getting lame.
Yeah, we're dorks.
We're here. We're
History
here
dorks.
now.
Books are for nerds. Sorry.
We both just read a history book.
We did?
Yeah.
You did.
The heart of all
I don't go in libraries, bro. Get the fuck off me.
You don't need to. You just order from Amazon.
Get away from me. Dude.
All right.
Fucking gross.
All right. So, yeah, this is going to be the news. We're talking all dog news. Probably going to be a little bit shorter episode. But if you guys were wondering what's going on in the world with dogs,
you probably weren't.
But now you are. And this is what's going on. That's amazing.
The dogs.
Is that even a real story?
That's a fact.
This is complete nonsense, Greg.
Read a book.
I guess you are kind of artistic.
Incredible.
What are you even talking about, man?
Go for broke.
I don't even know what that means. Let's get it going.
Let's get her going. Keep her going, baby.
All right, Greg, I'm going to lead us off here with some important shit.
Is it?
Yeah, we've been...
how important? Scale 1 to 10.
I'd say like an 8.
An 8?
Yeah,
because 8 to me is like grab a fucking AK-47 and get into the bomb shelter because shit's hitting the fan.
Wow, so what's a 10 then?
You don't want to know.
You don't. If you don't know, you can't afford it.
You can't. What? God damn it!
All right, so this actually relates to food and what you're feeding your dog, and we've had a lot of guests on that talk about whether it's raw feeding or what's important to feed your dog, intelligent to feed your dog, to help them be the best dog that they can be. But this actually comes out of Texas, and they recall a particular pet food due to salmonella and listeria. So this was just a few days ago.
Dude, I love that word listeria.
Yeah, you just like saying it?
It just sounds like something like
bad.
1920s, like bad.
You're like, this can't be good. This can't be good.
My whale's got listeria.
My whale?
I don't know.
All right, so the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, sorry, I had to burp, is warning dog owners not to feed certain lots of Texas tripe raw pet food after samples tested positive for salmonella and listeria monocytogenes. Monocytogenes, I'm not sure what those are.
Stay away from the tripe, folks.
Yeah, stay away from that Texas
Never
tripe.
order the tripe.
Don't get
on the menu, bro.
When's the last time you ordered tripe?
You don't want to know. It ended poorly.
So the FDA is issuing this alert because these lots of Texas Tripe Inc. raw pet food represent a serious threat to human and animal health. I didn't know human, so fuck that stuff. Because these products are sold and stored frozen, FDA is concerned that people may still have them in their possession. So people could have just stored this raw pet food for like a long time, bought in bulk, and now not good.
Well, duh.
So what's
no one leaves a fucking hamburger in the fucking fridge for like 4 months and then eats it.
Yeah, well, some people do. I don't know.
And they're disgusting.
All right, so they were called products, 20 pounds, 40-pound cases. Each case contains multiple plastic pouches. Okay. Lot codes to help identify recalled product are printed on the outside of the cases, but the codes are not printed in individual sealed plastic pouches, also known as chubs. So if the case has been discarded, there are no unique identification numbers on the individual chubs for you to know. These products are manufactured in Texas Tripe and were sold direct to consumers online and by phone. What the fuck? Who sells shit by phone anymore? If somebody calls me and I don't know who they are and they say one word, I tell them to go die.
Oh, I talk to him all the time, dude. I literally talk to him for like 5-10 minutes. I love it.
Mm-hmm. So there's a gigantic list, if you want to check it out, at dogfoodadvisor.com of the Texas Tripe serial numbers that have been affected.
There's like a million, folks. So just throw that shit out.
So
holy
basically
shit.
All of it.
Yeah.
For example, Texas Tripe Beginner's Choice, Wolf Run,
and there's
pork
like 75
blend,
numbers after
turkey
that.
blend.
Jesus.
There's 23 different food bag types, and then like 50 different variations of that. So
throw out the Texas Tripe, everyone.
Stay away from that. But literally sold in just about every state in the United States, including New York, Greg. So don't get any Texas tripe.
In New York?
Yeah, in New York as well. But the FDA followed up these findings with an inspection and collected and analyzed samples of unopened finished product after the firm performed corrective actions from additional lots, some of the same product. But it showed that the samples contained salmonella and or L mono. So that's the Listeria mono, whatever that long word was.
Listeria.
Yeah. So the monocytogenes, the Listeria monocytogenes. So just a heads up, get off that Texas tripe and switch over to Beneful fucking healthy weight or whatever you're feeding your dog.
I don't know what he's talking about.
All right, so that's story number 1. That's the news. Fuck Texas.
Wow, whoa, aggressive, dude. It's a pretty cool place, dude.
I know. I've been
flawless. I love it.
San
Been there,
Antonio, been to
times,
Dallas.
dude.
Yeah, I actually really like Texas, but
All
who knows if
right.
Texas tripe is actually out of Texas?
Yeah. So next story here, and it's fucking fantastic. Delaware
Good story.
is now the first and only no-kill state for shelter animals in the U.S.
Woo!
Let's go, Delaware.
Fuck yeah, Delaware. I mean, realistically, that's awesome. But what's in Delaware? I feel like it's just a road connecting other states.
I don't know.
I have no
But
idea,
it doesn't
man.
matter, dude. So Brandywine Valley SPCA implemented numerous programs so that 95% of animals that enter the open admission shelter find homes.
Okay, sweet.
I'm guessing 95% is pretty high compared to other places.
Oh, for sure. Especially, I mean, we're talking about dogs, but for cats, they can put down like day.
I don't know anything about animal shelters. Should probably do more research. Anyway, so Torelli, not sure Torelli is, but Torelli said because cats are euthanized at twice the rate of dogs. Wow, you're on it, dude.
Yep.
The nonprofit institution, the practice called Trap, Neuter, and Return, aka TNR, to save the lives of feral or community cats that would otherwise be euthanized. In TNR, advocates humanely trap the felines, and veterinarians spay or neuter them before they are released back into the community.
Okay.
All good things, all good things. Open adoptions, which don't require time-insensitive applications that involve things like home inspections, but instead focus on matching a pet with a potential adopter's lifestyle.
All right.
Help move animals more quickly through the shelters. Reduced fee adoption events have been particularly successful. Brandywine hosts 2 mega adoption events each year. They are weekend-long events where we adopt out over 1,000 animals in 2 days. Torelli said, "It's an amazing experience. It's really something to see." All right.
Okay, that's sweet.
Yep. No-kill efforts also involve keeping animals out of shelters in the first place. So Brandywine offers free vaccine clinics, a pet pantry, and an emergency veterinary fund for families facing financial difficulties. That's awesome, people.
That's
so they're
awesome.
going to like help them with vaccines, pets, or like veterinary bills, all that fun stuff. So a mobile wellness clinic reaches far-flung folks. That's a nice way to say like poor people in the middle of fucking nowhere, who might not be able to come to the shelter and veterinary clinics.
So you live in Iowa.
No, they're not going to Iowa, dude. No one's fucking going to Iowa.
I'm just saying.
Who the fuck goes to Iowa, bro?
Only people fly
Get
over.
the fuck out of here. Get away from me, dude. The nonprofit also encourages the next generation to learn about pets, caring and compassionate to animals, visiting schools, and hosting critter camp for kids.
Cool.
All right. There's a lot about Torelli and what she has to say, and I don't really care.
No, that's good. No, that's awesome though. Fuck yeah, Delaware.
Yeah. So, anyways,
What else have you
Delaware. Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's good. Delaware doing something
It's just
cool
a lot
for
of the same
once.
shit about all they're doing. But yeah, honestly, that's awesome. Hopefully, New York and the rest of the country can get on board. But this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, name a city in Delaware. Dover. Now you go. Fuck Delaware, except for this situation.
Don't fuck that. No, dude. They're on top of it, bro. They're leading the pack.
All right, I'm moving on. All right, so I'm gonna go back.
That's pretty cool, dude. Oh,
What?
our current news.
Yeah.
I was at an expo, a wildlife expo, and I connected with Pity Love, a local organization in Rochester who adopts and homes pit bulls, and they want to be on the podcast.
Sweet. That's
Right?
awesome. Yeah, Rochester's a huge pity-friendly city, too.
Yep.
Cool. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great. We should connect both of these. We should connect Delaware.
Yeah, let's get Delaware
and Pity Love
on the fucking podcast, dude.
And
Jesus
and
Christ.
Pity Love. No, connect them to Survivor's Best Friend.
Yeah. Oh,
That'd be good. That'd be a good connection. We'll have to hit them up.
What is it? SBF and Pity Love.
Survivor's Best Friend. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm bringing it back dark. All right. Sorry. This is just the news, people.
Jesus.
All right. So,
Turn it
dog.
down.
Title of this thing is Dog Walkers Warned as Potentially Deadly Lumps of Palm Oil Wash Up on British Beaches. And I know that palm oil in general is used in just about everything. Could be environmentally an issue in the United States because of the way they're, not made.
It's harvested.
Yeah, the way it's harvested.
Apparently, there's like I don't even know what the right word is. There's a good way and a bad way to harvest it.
Yeah, it's primarily only like a tropical tree.
Yeah.
But then doing it in the United States is bad. I'm not sure. We should look into it.
No, I think they just like
The way they're
fucking
harvested.
destroy the whole rainforest to get it.
That too.
Or there's
not
like
good.
the right way where you like climb up the tree and pick them all individually.
Gotcha,
So
okay.
it's like if you were to grow a field of corn and just mow the whole fucking thing down and destroy the rainforest versus just picking the two little ears off of it. I don't know. That's my limited knowledge on palm oil.
So, in some instances, ingesting palm oil has resulted in the dog needing to be put down. So, it's pretty deadly, man.
oh man, it just clogs them up or something.
Yeah, dog owners in Cornwall have been warned about the dangers of palm oil after a white substance washed up on beaches in Newquay and Portheris. These got to be like little towns in Britain, I'm not sure. Palm oil pollution on coves around Pendine this morning and a dead gannet. Not sure what that is. The Friends of Portheris, a volunteer group, said on Twitter Tuesday, shared the images of the substance. And this looks like it's like a baseball size. No, maybe not that big. Like a in between a golf ball and a baseball size thing of palm oil. So if your dog eats that shit,
I'm going golf ball.
more golf ball. But if your dog eats that shit, it's not going to be good. The white blocks were also found on Fistral Beach last month, according to Cornwall Council. We acted as soon as we could. Reports came in of this white substance being washed up on Fistral Beach, a council spokesperson told The Independent. Cornwall Council have been working with the site manager to ensure warning posters have been posted along the beach as a precautionary measure. I wonder where it's coming from, though. That's the tough part.
Wherever palm
Could be coming from anywhere, man. I mean, to get to Britain, it's definitely not coming from the equator,
I mean,
bro.
it's the ocean, dude. Tides,
I know,
strips,
tides.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Waves.
Like little notes in a bottle. Like, could be anything. The spokesperson said the council had not confirmed the substance was palm oil, but the post on Fistral Beach Facebook page published in July.
Palm oil is produced in Indonesia.
I think it's just anywhere tropical, anywhere along the equator is where it's.
I don't know. This is a quick Google
naturally,
search.
yeah. I'm gonna stop reading. This is like a dialogue book. The council added laboratory testing has shown that palm oil is a non-toxic, degraded edible oil or fat. I'm sure in like tiny, minuscule amounts. I mean, it's in everything that we use pretty much.
Tootsie Rolls.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, like shampoo, like all sorts of weird
we do
shit.
a lot of like expos and stuff like that.
Okay.
For my other job, just to recruit, or not recruit, but find people. And one of the big things during our like Halloween events when we're handing out candy is like no nuts, anything like that, nothing allergic, but then also sustainably harvest palm oil.
Okay. All right. Hey,
Yeah.
there's a fun fact from Greg. Some dogs that have consumed small quantities of palm oil have suffered from vomiting, diarrhea, which has led to severe dehydration. Some dogs that have eaten larger amounts, which I'm guessing is like that golf ball amount of the substance, have suffered a range of effects, including kidney damage, liver failure, and blockages of the gut. That's no good. In some instances, this has resulted in the dog needing to be put down. This is pretty fucked up. Don't let your dog get on that shit. It's one of the. Oh yeah, here we go. It's one of the most widely used in vegetable oils around the world. Cosmetic production as well as other industries. But some dogs again have been and become seriously ill after ingesting palm oil. Much of the risk from palm oil is thought to derive from other toxic products mixed in, and some of it comes from like diesel oil from ships. So that palm oil is floating around the ocean, going through the tides and all that kind of stuff. It's just sucking up some of the oil and shit that's in the ocean. Probably plastic too. There's so much plastic in the ocean. Yeah. So that's it. So don't let your dogs, especially if you're in Britain right now on the coast, don't let your fucking dog eat anything.
Right?
Which should just be the standard of care for your pet.
Well, yeah. Oliver eats a lot of garbage on our walks, but that's another story.
Sometimes they get to it before
he's a trash man, dude. He just fucking just eats it all.
Okay.
Anyways, but it's kind of sad that you bring this up because my next article, the news, right into it, and it's just sad because we're literally polluting the fuck out of our planet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like terribly that we can't even fucking let our dogs on the beach, and in the United States, we can't even let our dogs in fucking ponds.
Okay, why is that?
Because blue-green toxic algae is just killing dogs left and right all over the United States.
Okay, so what do we know what blue-green algae is? You gonna get into it?
It's an algae that is somewhere on a lake.
Or a pond, freshwater.
And there's been numerous sources all over the United States, and I just picked out one article because I wanted to inform our listeners, but they're literally nationwide. I even looked in New York's, so it's particularly started in the South, where temperatures are really warm.
Oh, yes. It's like global petri dish pond.
Right. So this algae grows in these lakes, and it just gets worse and worse, and apparently if your dog swims in it, it can actually kill your dog.
Fuck that.
Yeah, and it's made its way all the way up, even as far as New York State. But I'll read this article, but that's the gist of it. So Mecklenburg County issued a warning Friday for residents to stay away from ponds at more than a dozen parks after testing. Tests revealed a dog-killing toxic algae at popular South Charlotte Park. Officials announced that testing Thursday at the pond in the Park Road Park found the toxic version of blue-green algae. So it's essentially an algae. It looks literally just like a greenish, bluish paint has been dumped into the lake or pond. So
that can't be good.
Yep, they said the post-warning signs in the park and 13 others across the county do not allow pets to enter or drink from any pond, and keep dogs on a leash to minimize the chance of coming into contact with the water.
Yeah, I looked it up. It looks like that it's just like primarily some sort of bacteria in the algae. It just continues to grow and gets like disgusting based on like photosynthesis and oxygen. So whatever is going on in North Carolina every day because it's sunny and there's obviously oxygen.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard of this and you have a dog, you're probably living under a rock because it's everywhere in the Northeast.
Yeah, now that I look at it, it is everywhere, and it almost looks like you wouldn't want your dog to swim in something like this, no matter what. I mean, your dog's going to come out looking green,
right?
You know, it's like you wouldn't want your dog to swim there. So if you're letting your dog swim in something like this, then fuck you.
Right. I'm trying to find the site that you can actually look this up, and it'll show you like hotspots on lakes that have been tested for the algae blooms. Have been tested positive because every lake is going to get an algae bloom. Or lake or pond at some point.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere
at some point, but it all depends if it's harmful or not. And it's actually scary. I checked this site out, and I looked up Chautauqua Lake where my parents have their place, and they've actually found some harmful blooms in Chautauqua Lake.
Yeah.
So Oliver, sorry, bro. You ain't swimming in that.
Well, I think it's probably safe if it's just like the water's looking normal and clear like most of the Finger Lakes. But if you run into a section on like either end of the lake, whichever way the wind's blowing, and it's like green and shitty, don't let them in.
But anyway, so if you go to dec.ny.gov/California chemical something, you'll actually find there's a map you can type into your little search engine, and they'll bring up all the hot spots that you can find for these harmful chemicals. So just everyone, do your research. If you're taking your dog on a hike, make sure they're leashed, make sure they're not jumping in any water. And if you see this like algae looking stuff, no matter if you know if it's harmful or not, like just don't let your dogs in the water, because dogs have died on numerous events, and it's really kind of sad and scary. So
Yeah, and actually, I didn't tell you, Greg, the other night we were over at Ellie's house, who is the founder of Figgy Pudding Art. She's been on the podcast. Follow her at Figgy Pudding Art. Plug. Her
shameless plug.
Yeah, her boyfriend, he hunts a lot. He does a lot of like waterfowl hunting, so like geese and ducks and different types of birds
birds that are in the water. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
I think they call that fishing.
You're fishing with
He's
guns.
just mistaken this whole time.
Yeah.
He's just been fishing the whole time.
But he was saying like they go out sometimes at like midnight, maybe 2 a.m, hang out for like 4 hours. So then when the birds start going, you can start shooting. But even though you might be in a clear patch of water, sometimes they wear waders up to like their titties.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like be in and have a good shooting position instead of laying on your back. Imagine if you shot a bird like 50 yards away, and then that section of water is all algae, all that blue-green.
Well, you got waders on, so you're good.
No, you're good. The dog's not, though, because the dog's retrieving. The dog's retrieving the waterfowl, man. Yeah, so you should definitely talk to him about that. But yeah, definitely be concerned, folks. Is that it?
Yeah. What's next, dude?
What's next? All right, I'm gonna end us on something. You know what?
End us, dude. I got one more.
Oh yeah, you got one more.
So, story here, dude.
This isn't necessarily news, but it's news to me, and I think it's just a cool story. So, title is Shelter Dog Tucked Himself In Every Night as He Waited for a Family.
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, my heart melts. And he looks pretty old. I think it's a Chihuahua, but he looks like he's probably 10 years old. So he's probably just a good dude. Somebody abandoned him, and he's looking for a home. Right, Greg?
Yep.
Everything changed for a senior Chihuahua named Scooter. That's me, Scooter.
Scoot.
Yeah, that was my nickname.
He used to wipe his butt on the ground.
Oh, you don't know that about Scooter. You know that about me, though. When his person passed away. Okay, so owner passed away. Sad. Suddenly, instead of being at home he'd known for years, he was in a shelter for homeless animals. Poor guy. To comfort himself, Scooter pulled up a dark blue blanket with white stars over his little body and tucking himself in.
That's adorable, dude.
It's adorable. Only Scooter's worried little face and his pointed ears standing up sharply at attention stuck out of the little bundle he'd made for himself. And he looks amazing. He's on like a little bed that's up off the ground, and he's just wrapped up in a little blankie.
It's kind of sad.
Well, hopefully this thing fucking turns around. Even though they saw how sweet and handsome the little guy was, shelter staff had doubts about whether Scooter would gain very much interest from potential adopters, probably because he's so old. But at the same time, he clearly has a big heart, you know?
Yeah, dude.
Scooter is 12. Yeah, he's old. And had an old hip injury. The shelter manager of the Humane Society of Branch County, don't know where that is, a no-kill shelter in Michigan. Okay.
No kills, baby.
Oh, no kills. So maybe Michigan jumped on the Delaware bandwagon.
We should all just go and fuck up kill shelters.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, I have a good family friend who's a veterinarian that does like surgery and stuff like that. I don't know if she has to euthanize dogs. That's different though, right? Oh yeah,
dude. I read a Facebook post from a veterinarian, and it said the saddest thing that I have to do in my job is when I have to put a dog down, and the owners want to leave the room, so the dog's just left there, worrying and wondering what's going on.
Oh, that's so sad,
dude.
Why did you just say that?
I don't know, dude. That's my fucking dumb brain.
God, well,
isn't that terrible?
It's terrible. I mean, being in there would be terrible too, but I feel like if I
feel like horrible inside.
If I ever had to euthanize my dog, I'd want to be there and just say my goodbyes and then. Okay, let's move on.
Jesus Christ, dude.
All right, so she explained that she had thought Scooter might even have to live the rest of his life in the shelter. But we had space, so we would never turn them away. So they took him in. They're like, hey, we don't know if he's going to get adopted. We'll keep him here. But when the shelter shared the photo of Scooter under his blue blanket, everything changed. And he does. I don't like Chihuahuas. They're little Mexican fucking dogs. No quiero Taco Bell. Oh, wait, no. Me quiero Taco Bell. I don't want. I want Taco Bell.
People from wants Taco Bell, dude. That's a move out of desperation, son.
Dude, I lived on that
Dude,
stuff.
you're just fucking ready for the mud butt. Down on the butt.
Yeah. People from all around the world started writing to the shelter offering to give the poor pup a home. Jessica Lynn Howard, who had adopted 2 other Chihuahuas from the shelter in the past, was one of those people. She loved him, and she was ready to bring him in. First thing the next morning, Howard got in the car and drove 3 hours to the shelter to pick up Scooter and bring him home. Oh, look at him. Dude, Chihuahuas are crazy looking.
Cute. They look like they're ready to eat your soul.
Look at their eyes, man.
Yeah, they look like they're staring at my soul from a computer.
Yeah, this is a picture of her 3 dogs, the new guy Scooter with her 2 other ones, and they have crazy big ears. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read my last story. That was a great story, Scott. I'm just gonna end on a little note. And it's just with, like, this dog Scooter ended up in the shelter because their owner died, right? An elderly old owner probably died, and when you look at these people who are in their 70s, late 80s, clearly towards the end of their life, obviously an animal is gonna help them. Right, as they do many people, like having a dog around. And my grandmother even had a little tiny terrier or something.
Just comfort and having something around. Yeah,
she loved this dog, but you have to realize when getting a dog for a person that's at that age, there's a really high probability that the dog is going to outlive the owner. So if your elderly relative or whoever it is looking to get a dog, or you're thinking about getting a dog for one of these elderly people, have a plan for
have a backup plan. Know that that's the possibility, even though it's hard to digest and understand that that's a high probability. You need to have a backup plan, because you don't want a dog like this, even though this is a great story, to fucking end up being euthanized for no reason.
Right, exactly. So just do a little due diligence and just be like a human being, and just make sure that dog has a home after, if it does outlive, their owner. That's all I wanted to say. So just be fucking smart. Don't be a dumbass.
Be a human being, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. All right. So that is the news.
That's the news.
Hope you guys liked it. We're gonna keep these ones a little bit shorter. Hopefully, we'll get them out every week, couple weeks. We'll see how it goes. So let's wrap this up here.
We
Scott,
want to keep. We want to keep you informed.
Where do you find us?
Yeah, Barkology Podcast on Instagram, Facebook. Follow us and listen to us everywhere that you listen to podcasts: iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you want to listen to us on, we're there. Get your news now, and also get your stories, your interviews with all of the top minds in the dog community. We love you guys. What did you call the fan base last episode? The pack, the dog pack. We love you guys.
Thank you, pack.
Reach out to us any chance you can. Submit pictures if you want to be Dog of the Week. We're going to continue to do that. We get a lot of positive. Well, actually,
we got a lot of really dumpy pictures.
Yeah, we got some. If you're going to send them in, just send some high quality.
Dude, stop sending pictures from your 1995 fucking flip phone, dorks.
Yeah, a lot of them looked like it was something my mom had taken. It was all blurry and shitty. But we've gotten hundreds, thousands of pictures. Yeah, people are sending in 40 pictures of their dogs.
I don't like computers, people.
Yeah, but continue to do that. We're gonna post Dog of the Week. We love you guys, and as always, wag more,
bark less, baby.
Woo, baby.